How you doing, guys? So I just got sent a property. We're about to look at it to see if it's a good deal for me and my investors. But yeah, take a tour with me and I'll show you basically what to look for, when you're investing in real estate. Looking at the house, it's in a pretty good area. The neighborhood is very quiet, very, cookie cutter homes nearby. Not a lot of car congestion, in the driveway. It's a cul-de-sac, so this is something that, a buyer will actually like. So you have to think about these things when you're purchasing property. And if you're an investor or you're looking to invest with me, these are things that I look at. All right, so we're in front of the property and let's see, because this is what buyers see when they first walk into a house, and you have to make sure your entrance is it looks very nice walking into your house. It's something that you have to convince your buyer so they could choose your property over others. But walking in, there's a stench that comes out. So I'm pretty sure that there's some kind of either a water leak or a damage, and the smell eventually, comes out in the air. But yeah. So, looking at it, seemed like this is pretty much a cosmetic work. The wall is most definitely gonna be redone. Yeah, most definitely a lot of paint. We're gonna have to pretty much paint the whole house, just judging on what I'm looking at. But yeah, guys, flooring is not in bad shape. We might salvage these tiles and just leave it, have it professionally cleaned, with chemicals. But the layout of the house is actually not that bad. I'll say this kitchen, it has solid bones. A lot of the times you don't really have to, upgrade kitchen countertops, cabinets all the way. You could just salvage it, add some new hardware, handles, change out the appliances, and you pretty much, it's a little skills of the trade. All right, guys, so the living area, I'll be completely honest. How I choose certain houses when I'm gonna buy it and how I know it's gonna sell easily is when there's an open, concept look to the house. Like where the kitchen area and the dining area kind of merges into the living room. You want the less walls, the better, judging based on like what I've seen in houses that sit a lot longer compared to more of an open look. So this is something that is in my criteria, and this is most definitely something that, that'll make me purchase this house over others. So if you're investing with me, this is things that you have to be aware as well. Okay, so guys, this is the primary bedroom. This is something that it is most definitely, at this price point, this bedroom from a primary perspective is actually pretty nice. I think it's under 300K. So with this kind of, space that you have, open concept coming in, nice neighborhood, this is something that, I'm interested in. The economy is not the best, so a lot of the times I'm gonna buy houses that are within most people's price point. So in Houston, it's 400K. In Austin, it's a little bit like 500. And then in Dallas, I believe it's about 400K. So you have to, when you're buying houses to invest, make sure that your exit strategy, the people who actually are buying in this market, they can afford. So yeah. All right, guys, this is the primary bath. This is very, 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 the layout is already pretty much in place. All we have to do is change out these vanities, vanity top, mirrors, put some modern sconces on, and probably resurface this, or maybe add some stonework around it, make it look, a little bit more appealing. We could probably change this glass, because a lot of times, these glass are like very basic, but if you change it to more of a modern and more frameless look, you can make it, a lot better. But the closet is actually something that that I know that buyers will like in this market. So this is This is pretty much a walk-in closet. So this is pretty nice. At this price point below, I believe 350, I mean, this is pretty nice. After, you know, if we add some touches to it, add some more, you know, drawers and things like that, make it a little bit more appealing, and this would be a good selling point. In this property, there's no flooring. So I'm assuming based on what we're seeing here is that the padding underneath the carpet was removed. So that's something that, you know, you have to include in your budget, you know, when you're flipping houses. But yeah, I mean, the layout of this house exceeded my expectations. The layout is something that is pretty much what's selling in the area. Nice, spacious. It's a game room. The rooms are separate on each side. The bathroom is separate. It's not a Jack and Jill. At this price point, I feel like that's something buyers are looking at. Yeah, flooring, you know, in this state is actually a good thing as a flipper. A lot of times when you're hiring a contractor, they're gonna charge you for labor to uninstall, place, and then, you know, install again. So removing that's less labor work on your part, and it's also a lot better to come and, you know, test your materials to see what stands out. So it's actually a good thing that whoever is selling, remove the flooring. But yeah, guys, so in a room like this, this is just one of the bedrooms upstairs. So obviously looking at it right now, there's no flooring. We could probably, I'm looking at LVP or, you know, vinyl. No, it doesn't really matter what kind of vinyl, but vinyl upstairs and probably all throughout the walkway. But yeah, the flooring is gonna be the same probably throughout the house. Repaint the walls, make it, you know, have a nice pop. Look, I'm thinking of white, just a basic white color. Fan, probably gonna change that, make it, you know, a little bit more aesthetic. I'll probably say a black color. Maybe I'm thinking about adding some recessed lighting around, depending on what model of fan and the light comes with. Sometimes the light on the fan will be enough, but sometimes depending on the design, it's best you just put recessed lighting. So, but yeah, obviously you want to make sure you upgrade the switches. This is chipped, so it's most definitely got to go. Repaint the closet. May put carpet in the closet throughout, you know, the rooms in the house. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much standard, and, you know, I'll probably just leave it how it is and just besides the paint. So it's a half bath coming straight from downstairs. So this is a nice layout. I'm not gonna lie, this house is a pretty good deal, you know, based on the numbers. This is something I'm probably gonna place an offer on, and hopefully we can get this going. Laundry room is pretty spacious, and seems like the property will come with a washer and dryer, so that's money saved. All right, guys, backyard area is pretty big. You know, a lot of the times you invest in a property and you find out that your lot is the smallest, and then you complain when, you know, your offers are coming in, you know, a lot lower than comparables in the area. So lot size is very important, and a lot of investors miss that when they're purchasing a property. So, all right, guys, so after looking at the house fully, I'm gonna obviously go run my numbers and place an offer on the house. Hopefully this is something that, you know, we can get started, you know, within the next following weeks. You know, at the end of the day, an offer is an offer. In this market, sellers are willing to negotiate with you better. So